Okay, I guess we can start right now. Are you able to hear me? Hello. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, we personally I'm able to hear you.
Oh, that's great. So I hope the rest are able to hear me. So should we start by talking about the requirements very fast, and then maybe we start the organization of the code. We create something simple. How do you see that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Let's first is Esther on? Yeah, she's on. That's fine. We can start with that.
All right. Maybe she can share a screen or something.
Esther, you able to share your screen? Or you have notes that you can run down for us quickly, and I do just a brief overview. Esther,
Yes.
uh, share with us what you noted down, or if you have or if you're on and you put it down on your PC. You could share your screen, but if you have it as notes, you can take us through what you have.
Maybe let me just maybe share a few I know, and then others will be completed later. How do you see it? Just
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
all right. So one of the things is that we shall need to display the blogs we have on Nyom Planet. So the app will be able to show the customers some of the good blogs we have. Also gallery. We should also have that section. Show for the gallery is to show some of, I think we have listed the website. So some of the pictures of some weddings. Yes, we shall be able to show those images for the different weddings. Yeah, so they'll be in categories just like the way they appear on the site, on Young Planet website. And then another thing, the most important thing, by the way, is the service providers. Service providers. Hope you're all able to see my screen. So the service providers, these are the ones who offer the services. We are talking about the vendors. They're the same as the service providers. So they are the vendors. So these are the ones who offer cake, who offer decor, who offer wedding cars, and so many other services to the couples planning to have their wedding. So those are the service providers. We shall also have the users. So for the users, we shall divide them in two roles. So we shall have the admin. Those are the ones at Nyom Planet who manage and control the system. And then we shall also have the customers. Those are the couples. They can also sign in and maybe receive notifications for the daily blogs we put on Nyom Planet. And also we shall also have another role, which is by the vendors who are the service providers. So for the vendors, they will be able to post their listings or post their pictures of their business, the location, information about their service they're offering, and all that, the prices and all that. So that will be for so under users, let me just put here. So we shall have the admins. Those are the ones who control the system. And then others, we shall have the vendors. Those are the ones who offer the services. And then lastly, we shall have the customers, who are the couples intending to have a wedding. So those are the three for now, the ones we can have on our mobile application. And then another thing, we can also have, maybe you guys can also suggest the group. So we also have I think the services. Hope it also makes sense. So I think for this one, the ones you see like as a service providers, let me just hint on it. So these service providers, we are trying to mean like a business. Hope to make sense. Yes. Yes, Godfrey, we can't hear you very well.
Pardon?
Oh, you had unmuted. So I was trying to say for the service providers, I'm trying to mean the business. So what do I mean? Like the way, let me just give an example. One, which service provider can I give? Let me say Sheraton. So Sheraton is a vendor. That's how we term it. Is a vendor. So we take it as Sheraton, like a business, it being a business. And then the service they offer, let me say they offer services. Okay. I thought someone had unmuted. Okay, they offer services like the venue. So this is what I'm trying to mean as a services. And then service providers, those are the vendors, implying the business itself. And then the users, just like I'd said, admins, vendors. These vendors, I mean like one person who's in charge of of updating the profiles of their business on the site. That one person who represents the business. So that one is under a user. Hope that won't confuse anyone. If you have any question, you raise it later. So let's start with these ones. So we have blogs, gallery, service providers, users, and services. So I'm going to create a few. I think I'll create like one, and then the others, I'll assign them to members. And then, yes, we start with the actual hands-on work. So I guess you're all having your machines for those who are going to be doing more of the programming. And those who may not do programming can suggest what we can add on the mobile application because this is not only done by the programmers. People can also suggest like, we can add this and this. We shall also be able to add it. So things like location, they're also important. There are many things I've left out, which we can add. This one I'm driving it. Okay, I'm basing it from a perspective of what someone who has done software engineering or software architecture. So some it may not make sense for those who do software engineering or something, or it may somehow make sense. So this is the way like you organize your system into components. You say there is a component for the blogs, just like the way you see we have a blog page, there is a gallery page, there is a service providers page, there is a users page, that's if you log in. So that's how we organize the software. So yeah. So now let me dive into the code itself. So from here, these ones in software we call them we can call them models, or we can call them entities, something like that. Entities. If my spelling is wrong, I will forgive me about that. So this entities, models, we can call them models or entities. And then these models also have attributes. For example, for a blog has an ID, a blog has a name, a blog has a content. Let me just share, just to give you a brief highlight. Let me just log into Gnome Planet. Great. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, just like this, these are blogs, different blogs, different days. So each blog, even I can just explain from here, each blog has a date. You can clearly see it. It has a comment, it has a title, and it has
I know that they're unable to see it. Personally, I'm not seeing it. I think the screen that is
Oh,
big shared right now is for the document of the requirements.
Okay. Let me try to share again. Sorry about that. I was used to the Google thing, Google Meet. So are you able to see it now?
Yeah, it's fine. I can see it.
Okay,
I believe
that's
it's
great.
visible.
That's great. So these are the blogs I've been talking about. So in how we come up with software developing. So these are sections, just as I told you, a blog is a component, a gallery is also a component, you get. So that's how we design the application in the back end. You first organize it into components. So from here, let me just talk about the blogs. So on the blog, each blog here, you can see it has a date when it was created. It has comments. People have commented on that blog. It also has a title. You can clearly see it here. It also has a brief information about that blog. Yes, so each blog has the same thing. So this is what we call attributes, these ones right here. So you also have to note them as you're coming up with a back end. So when you click one, you'll be able to see all the attributes of a blog. So a blog always has a title, it has the when it was created, comments. It also has the content itself. This is the content. You can see it right here. It has images, all this. So you have to add all this to your model. So I guess I'm clear. If anyone has a question, you raise it. So I guess we can go back here. So this is what we are going to do. So for today, I'm going to, I think I'll cover the one for the blog. Then the other ones, you people raise them and then we shall discuss, because a person can only learn through practicing. Otherwise, talking, I'll just be like your normal lecturer. So let's dive in. So this is my Git repo. Or before I continue, has anyone been successful in downloading the IDE?
Esther, I recall you are downloading. I don't know. Did
Oh,
you download any IDE that you were able to install? And did it run very well? If so, which one was that one that you installed? And then Jedida said that she had installed, is it which one was that? But she hadn't tested it out. But then because of
okay.
the specifications of her PC, she might
Uh,
have to change or something of the sort.
okay, so let me start afresh. I'll start afresh from cloning. Since we are recording the video, people will be able to follow up. So let me close this. Let me close this IDE and then show you on how the entire process is, on how you're going to do it. So let me just share on my web browser. Screen sharing has stopped. Okay. So let me just share on my web browser. Okay. So I hope you're all able to see my web browser. So I'm going to click on GitHub, or let me just go straight in to the repo, to this repo. I think my internet has issues. Just click on that, GitHub. So after you have logged in into your GitHub repo, you'll be able, you can look around here, you'll see repositories. And then when you click on show more, that's if you have very many projects, then you'll be able to see the one for Neon Planet, which I invited you to and you accepted. So when you click on Neon Planet, you'll go straight into this is Neon Planet API. But if you click on Neon Planet, you'll be able to see the two projects that we're going to do. So we're going to do the Neon Planet API and the Neon Planet mobile application. So let me be fast because I took you through all this last time. So you'll click on Neon Planet API because this one you are going to start with this week. And then next week we shall start on the mobile application. So we shall be doing one the other week and then the other week. So you come here, right here, there is SSH, then you clone it here. You click here, copy, and then you come in. If you're using Windows or if you're using Linux, which I advise you to use, or let me just talk a little bit. So if you're using Windows, you'll have to download Git. And then after downloading Git, it always gives you that terminal where you can begin typing in. So I advise you, if you're doing, you're going to do more of the coding, you should be well versed with the terminal or the command line interface. So let me just share my terminal. So I guess you're all able to see my terminal. This is my terminal. So I advise you to use a terminal. So let me just go into my pictures. Don't worry about this. So I'm just going to my directory of pictures. So, and then what I do, I say git clone. Then I insert the link to my remote Git repo, which is a Neon Planet API. So I click, and so I'm cloning the project. So I'm just repeating. So here they need my password. Let me just type in real quick. And if it gives you hard time, please feel free to contact me. You can contact me via WhatsApp. I can help you. I know some people may find challenges using SSH because GitHub now shifted to SSH, and there are some things you have to do before you clone a project. I don't know. I think we shall have an entire, or if you watch the other video which I shared, then this should be simple for you. So I encourage you to watch that video, which I shared in the group on YouTube. So you'll go ahead and this one is for listing the things under my directory. So I change directory to the project I've just cloned, which is this one, Neon Planet API. So that's what I type in, and that's the one. So when I list the projects under it, you're able to see this app. These are the ones I've been talking about, the different directories. This one right here, public, database, bootstrap. So after you have cloned a project from a remote repository, the next thing is to install the dependencies. Remember, when you're pushing to GitHub, you don't push every, let me say, library you have downloaded. All those libraries that you need in your project are taken as dependencies. So since we have cloned it from the remote repository, I'll have to install the different dependencies. So what do I type? First of all, before installing the dependencies, you can clearly see here, let me just put LSA. You can see here the environment file. Okay, let me just tell you what to do. Maybe I'll explain why we need to use it and all that. So there is this file which you have to copy. This file right here, you see it? This one, you have to copy it and create a copy of it. You need to create a copy of that. So I say copy that and then copy it in this new file, which is called .env. Why? Because as you're pushing to GitHub, you don't need to show your secrets, your passwords of your database and all that. Those ones are all stored in the env file. It's called the environment file or folder, where you put all the secrets, maybe like the password to your database you're going to be using and all that, your emails, your server URL and all that. They're secret, so you store them in the env file. So after you have cloned, you have to create your own. So you type in cp means copy all contents which is in a .env.example to a .env file. So I've copied that. So if you happen to see the information under this, it's just a replica of the other one. So if I cut means like you show me a few things about that file. So these are the information about that file. You can clearly see it has the upper name and all this. So I just want to show you that it's the same thing. So if you click on that example, the file where we copied from, you can clearly see that it has the same information, just like you see. It has the same information. So that's what I'm trying to say. So after doing that, you can go ahead and install the dependencies. Let me just clear my screen. So you install the dependencies by saying composer install. That's what you type in to install all the dependencies. So when you put in that command to be able to download for you all the dependencies that we shall need in our project. I know like what you need here, you must have installed Composer. Composer, that one you'll have to go to Google, or if you have difficulty in installing Composer, you can tell me, then I schedule a short video, maybe of 10 minutes or 20 minutes to show you on how you can install Composer. Or quickest way, Google is open. You can just go ahead and type in how to install Composer. And you need it before you can go ahead and start the Laravel project. So maybe I'm clear on that. If you have any question, you'll type it in the chat section. So after installing that, you can run a PHP artisan key generate. This is just to generate the key of your application. Every application has a unique key. So you need to type in that, and then you generate it. So let me just, before I type it, let me just clear the screen. And then I do that. Key generate. So I've been able to generate a key for my API. For my API application, I guess, yeah, it's now stable. So I can go ahead and just run PHP artisan serve. It means now we need to start the application. So we need to start the application. It starts on this command. So when I click it, it should show me that information. So let me just share. Let me just share this, the web browser. Just a moment. Just share this. Click it down. Okay. If you have any question, please you can you're free to tell me anything that you need. So if you type in the actual URL, you're able to get this. This is a default page that Laravel shows you after you have successfully installed or started a Laravel project. So let's dive into our code. Okay, so this is it. So this is what after we have cloned and all that. So remember that our project is in pictures, the directory called pictures, and in Neon Planet API. That's where our project is. It's in folder called pictures. So you can have it in your own directory. You don't need to take up or copy mine. So let me go ahead and start my IDE. Let me just share it. So this is my IDE right here. This is where I start my IDE, my PHP Storm. So for those who are having difficulty in starting Git, please feel free. You can send me a WhatsApp message and then I'll show you on how they do it. But in Linux, yeah, you start it in a hard way, though there is a quickest way you can do it. But me, I'm always finding this approach. So I've launched my IDE. Hope you're all able to see my IDE. Or let me just share it. Okay. So let me just close this one and then open the one which is in a pictures directory. So I click on open. I come to my folder called pictures. That's where I put my project. I think it has not yet. Yes, it has brought it. It's right here. This is the one. So I open it. So if you have a Visual Code Studio, there is a quickest way you can do it using a command line. If you need it, then maybe we shall have a session on that. But this one, I'm just assuming if you have installed a PHP Storm. But if you have a machine, or if you have installed Visual Code, I'll also be able to show you that. So this is our project. We have installed, we have cloned it, and we have it right here. So since last time I told you to visit Git, there's no way you can do away with Git. If you're a software developer, you really need a version control. So Git, you can check on the remote branches that we have by typing Git branch. So I'm just going to show all the branches that I have. I have the main branch, and then I have the remote ones, these are all remote. So I have Anode KK, which is my branch. I have the main one, and then I have the one which I just created a demo, which was called Mirembe. Yes, so those are the branches I have. But for now, let's not go into branches since we are all just starting out. I'll show you on how to do that later. So as I told you that if you want to learn more with Git, you can start on with YouTube videos. I can show you where you can start from. I'm going to share the link. I think I'll share the link in the group. And then also, let me just share on this. Yes, here. So these are the projects we had started, we had run. So if you want to know more about Laravel, this is a documentation right here. This is a documentation, so you'll be able to visit this, and then you learn more about how to install it. You can start with basics. These are basics on how to create a controller, on how to create a model. Yes. So let me just show you a few things. So if you want to get know more, you'll be coming here. So because since we are chasing time, I'm just going to create a few models, and then I'll assign a few tasks to you people. Okay. So let me go ahead and then share this project right here. So I guess you're all able to see my IDE. Let me clear this. If you want to know, you can just click on Control L. That's for clearing, or you can just type in a command called clear. That one, you clear your screen. That's if maybe you don't know about it, you can just type in that. So we are going to create a model, just as we had discussed. We are going to create a model called blog. Just as I told you that applications, we first divide them, or we first group them into components, and that's how we start from building. So let me just type in clear the screen. So what you do, you type in PHP artisan. These are the commands which help us to develop, to come up with models, controllers, is an easier way, or very fast, without manually creating them here as folders. So this is the quickest way you can do it. If you want to know more, you'll visit the Laravel documentation. So you type in PHP artisan, and then you say make, and then model, because you want to make a model, and that model will be called a blog. That's the name of the model. It will be called a blog. And then when I type in like a -m, it means that we're going to create a migration. Migrations, just like last time I told you, they help us create tables. So when you create a migration, you won't go and create a table manually, like going into MySQL, typing in create a table called this, give it this and this. No, that's why we use frameworks. Frameworks make our work easier. So I'll create a model, which is called, when I type in -m, it means you create a model. And when I type in C, it means you create a controller called a blog. And when I type in F, it means that to create a factory. A factory, just like last time I told you, it helps us to create fake data, just like you see a factory. We create fake data so that we can test our application before we deploy it. Oh, I'm left with 10 minutes, so let me be quick. Or I'll just share it again. Okay. So after that, then we click enter. So it has created a model for us, just like the way you see. It has also created a factory for us and also a controller. So when we come here and then when we come to application and then we come to models, you see this one, models. When you come under it, you'll be able to see a blog created for us. So sorry about that. So a class, just like last time I told you, it represents a table or it represents an entity. Just like the way you studied database and management, something like that, a course related to that. So it has a class represents a table, which is the same as an entity. So let's just create a few fields and then we shall run them and then you will be able to see. This is a quick demo. So for creating a field, you'll have to protected. I think you guys maybe, I don't know if you have covered them or you are not yet covered them. So we have protected, we have public. When I say protected, protected means that that this class, I don't know, should I go in deep into them or we shall talk about it next time since we're running out of time. Let me just declare the attributes. So the attributes, just like I told you last time when I showed you a blog, it had a date when it was created. I can just call it created date. And it also had other content. It also had something about, let me just make a title. So let me just create these few and then the rest you'll create them yourselves or we shall come and refactor this code. So let me just pick up this. The created date, let me leave out. Why I'm leaving it out? Because this framework creates for me by default. Whenever I create a class, it creates for me timestamps. The day when I've created and the day when I've updated that a given record. That one we shall go deep into it next time. So I've just created these two fields to just show you. So we have a blog which presents a table and then these are the attributes. Then how do we specify that? So since you remember here when we ran this command, we created both a model, this is our model, and then we also created a migration. So where do you find migrations? Since they are related, migrations help us to create tables. So we always find this in a folder called database. So this is a folder which is called database. So when you click on it, you'll be able to see factories, migrations, seeders. So we just go into our migrations. So here, from here, you'll be able to see our migration. So this migration helps us to create a table. So already by default, just like I told you, Laravel creates for us an ID for that table and also timestamps. Timestamps means when that record has been created or when that blog has been created and when it has been updated. So I'll go ahead and create another attribute and that I'll take it to be text. Why do I use a text instead of a string? Because a text can accommodate more content or more, let me say like a paragraph more than a string. So this one, I'll call it content. And then I also created a title. So a title is always short. So that one, a string is enough for it. Yes, and a title always has to be unique because you can't have a blogs with the same title. It doesn't make sense. So yes, I think this is enough just for now because we have more things we can do. And then after I've created that, it also created for us a factory. So our factory was called blog factories right here. So this is where we can create our fake data. So we can start by creating a title. So a title, and then I can call in my fake data, faker, and then I can take this one as a what? As a statement, or let me just take it as a name, just consider name, and then content. I take this and then I consider faker. So it's just to create fake data. And then this one, let me take a paragraph. Great. So this is for creating paragraph. So I've also covered a factory. So let me go now into my controller. This is my controller, though we are running out of time. So just maybe I can have a talk from Godfrey. Should I create another link or we can stop from here? Because they're about to. Yes.
In the respect of time, I
Hmm.
believe we might have to end here. And then
Okay.
I'll have to do most of the heavy lifting the other side to make sure that we proceed.
All
And then
right.
the tasks that you assigned are actually completed.
Okay. So let me just share my screen and then I don't know, time is less and we have to cover a lot. So maybe just let me just show you the screen, share my screen. Because I really wanted us to cover a lot of stuff, but I don't know if our members are willing to go ahead. So this is a to-do list, and I wanted to create tasks for you guys right here so that you can also do something and then you update me if the task is complete or it's still pending or something like that. So one of them is to create a model for a services or service. It's called a service model. So I've created this and then I want to assign it to someone. So I think, should I assign it to Mirembe? Something like that. And then another task, just to create a model. A model called, let me call it service provider. It's called service provider. Yes, I think that I'll assign it to Godfrey.
That would have to be Esther.
Esther, right? Okay, so I've assigned these people these two projects. And then maybe if you're also comfortable with it, Godfrey, I think we can use this platform for assigning members on tasks to do, and then
Yeah,
they can tell us.
yeah. True. ClickUp is actually a good platform. I've done some significant research about it. Yeah, I
Oh,
think we should use this platform.
okay. So I've shared this. I'm going to push the project, and then when they clone and they create this, this is a good start. And then they can also suggest which attributes that we shall use. So I'm going to share this video to guide them on the few things I've covered, and then they can start on from there. So I think let me close the meeting if you guys don't mind. I'll
Yeah,
go to
that's
maybe.
fine.
Okay. So thanks for attending the meeting, and I think let me end it here, and then I'm going to share the video. I'm going to share it. I think, does Neon Planet have a YouTube account or something?
No, we don't. I guess that has to be created. You
Okay.
can create any, and then we just use it for the time being.
All right. I'm going to create one. Okay.
All
Thanks
right.
very much, and have a good night. If you have any question, please, you can raise it now. Yes. If you have any question.
So I wanted to ask about like the IDE. Is it PHP Storm or because I'm now confused?
Oh, so it's like this. The IDE, there is IntelliJ. IntelliJ is mainly for people who are who develop in Java using Java language. It's best suited for Java. Then there is PHP Storm. PHP Storm, just like the way you hear it, PHP. It's more suitable for PHP. And then there is also PyCharm. PyCharm, the way you even hear the word PyCharm, Python. So it's more suitable for Python, but